You know, it's never a dull moment whenever Yami is in a chapter or an episode of the anime, because you just know whenever he shows up, especially when a fight, is going to be an epic moment. He's a walking highlight reel. And that ending, yikes, we gonna talk about that. But Black Clover Chapter 256, it was really good chapter. Some heavy dialogue, some important dialogue, even though the translations this time were a little off. But again, we always wait for the Viz translations to do a proper breakdown. So let's talk about Black Clover Chapter 256, Yami's full power. So this chapter begins, we see Finro, and he's very hesitant. He's thinking to himself, if I move, I would die instantly, because he's thinking, should he support Yami or should he go and tell the other captains to bring in support? But at this point, he knows that this will make Yami have a disadvantage, because he will have to worry about Finro, because Dante definitely will go after Finro if he moves. He also mentions that he didn't expect things to turn out like this. They were only there to scout. And I must say, I miss seeing Finro. It's been a while since all of us have seen Finro in the manga chapters. And not just him, but also the other characters. So I'm glad that we are back to this battle. Then we see Dante use more of his devil mana and use up to 80% of his devil powers, which is very surprising. I do love the design. He has like 2 extra wings, and the whole black slick design, I love it. But that 80% is the exact same as Xenon. Xenon can only use also to 80%, even though that's not saying that they are the equals. They're the same in powers, because you also got to go by base power before they use their devil mana. So that's different multipliers for different characters. But a lot of us thought that he would at least be able to use 90 or 95%, but he goes on to explain why they can't use 100%, which makes a lot of sense. He goes on to say that us devil-possessed users share power from our devil from the other world. As long as we are trading power from 2 different worlds, this world and the underworld, we cannot bring out our full 100% power unless we open the door to the underworld. So this gives more context to the Tree of Death. Not only that they will summon more devils once this plan go into motion, but they will also have the power to go full 100%. So there are limits, and I really like this touch that Tabata has done, because this emphasizes and creates more tension on this arc, because the Dark Triad, they are already strong as they are now. So not only will you have to worry about devils coming in the series, more devils coming in the series where they do the Tree of Death, but also the Dark Triad themselves, once this plan goes into fruition, they will be stronger. They don't need to be stronger. They are the last people in this series that need to be stronger, and that is dangerous. Just imagine if they are this strong now, imagine at 100%. Ridiculous. He also goes on to say that he's not sure about Asa's devil though, so that creates more mystery on the anti-magic devil. Who is he? And I believe that would be safe for a different video. You then see this floating ball that's in Dante's hand, pause, and it's a spell called Gravitational Singularity. Even though we know that in the Viz translations it will be called something else. But he launches it at Yami, and it creates a trail erasing everything that's under it, and it split a mountain. The spell made things nearby disappear. Definitely one of my favorite panels of this chapter. That was just a dope spell to use. Dante really pulled that off, and that is a dangerous spell. If anybody would have got hit by that, GG. Yami then uses his Dark Cloth Dimension Slash, but it doesn't work because this vortex that Dante has created, this gravitational vortex, has twisted Yami's spell. He has this cool gravitational vortex around his body that will not allow anything to touch him. But Yami feels as though that he has to charge in, and he starts charging in with the Black Moon still by his side, because the Black Moon is a very powerful spell as well. To remind you guys, the Black Moon was able to erase nearby spells as well that's in that area around Yami. So these two, Dante and Yami, are very compatible with their magic, because gravity can create black holes, and Yami with his dark magic can create black holes as well. So I think these two are very similar. But Yami feels that he has to charge in and dodge by condensing his mana zone and raising up his sensitivity, meaning ki. But while Yami is charging in, Dante creates these huge rocks stopping him in his way, while also sending out his gravitational singularity spell. However, Yami dodges it just in the nick of time while also deflecting all the rocks. In mid-air, while Yami is trying to catch his balance, it comes back and tries to hit him again, and it barely misses Yami. And it shows you in the panel that, it gives you this illusion that if Yami would have got hit by that, half his body would have been gone. But the cool choreograph in these panels, you see some awesome transitions in these chapters. You can tell Tabata had a lot of fun writing these chapters. He even said that Yami is his favorite character, so I can tell that he had a lot of fun. But Dante still had another rock over Yami's head, and he smashes Yami to the ground, and everyone is just completely shocked. And everyone, Austin, everyone, they think that Yami is completely done. He's defeated. And, if I was one of the Black Bulls too, and I just seen my captain, Captain Yami just go down like that, I would be scared too. I would be frightened because he's the glue that keeps everyone together. And you really never see Yami loses. Like, he never loses. I don't think it's ever a fight in Black Clover that he lost. Maybe against him and Patri, but, that fight was, it was a little different. Patri could have won until Ghost showed up. At the end of the day, you can't really say that was an L because Yami held his own as well. But I guess if you want, you can count that as a W for Patri. Patri has a lot of W's in the series now that I think about it. But to see Yami lose, for the Black Bulls, that is something that is traumatizing, but he was not done. Yami then breaks out of the rocks and he says, right here, right now, I'll go beyond my limits. I can't even be a leader if I don't surpass my limits in front of my members. And that was the best moment of this chapter because for me, the stance that Yami was in, this cool samurai stance, you see all the blood dripping down on his face, and he goes on to talk about surpassing his limits. And it's poetic because he always tells the other Black Bull members, surpass your limits. And that is the model that he teaches. So he is showing all the Black Bull members that this is the work ethic to go beyond your limits. And in the guidebooks, Tabata put that Yami is a 5 out of 5 going beyond the limits. So, it all makes sense and this fits his character. But I love this moment because just imagine once this happened in the anime, just imagine the music that's going to be playing once this moment happens. It's going to be epic. Like, I'm pretty sure, how Crunchyroll or Funimation on their YouTube channels, they will show like a little highlight reel of what's to come for a certain episode, or they'll show a highlight that happened in that episode. This will be it. This will be the highlight. And once it happens, they better not play that first Black Clover opening they always use in epic moments. Yami deserves his own, man. Like, play something different in general, but Yami, they better not do that for this episode. Like, just play something different, all right? So Yami, he gets in his stance ready to slice Dante, and he used hyper condensed monozone. Now, I believe when the Viz translation comes out, we're going to get more proper translations, but hyper condensed, that's a new one for us. While Yami is doing this, Dante, he just laughing saying that, Yami, you cannot defeat me. And Yami used dark magic, sudden death, and it destroyed, completely decimated Dante's whole entire torso. The only thing that you see, his head floating, his arms, his wings, he's completely done. His neck, everything is gone. Even though we know that next chapter, how Tabata do his cliffhangers. We know that he's going to heal and come back, but the statement from Yami, he said that he just wanted to do a thrust. I didn't know it was going to be like a cannon. So in a nutshell, Yami didn't mean to do that. So that is crazy. Like, it worked though. That's all we gotta say, that it worked. But we know that next chapter, Dante is going to heal from this because there's no way Tabata is just going to, we know how he writes. This is cliffhanger 101. We already know that pretty much every devil or devil user we've seen in the series, they heal from stuff like this. And we've seen how, Vanica, we thought that she was going to be sealed and all of a sudden she broke out of it. We've seen how Zagrid, after Lick spell, he came back, and we know that Dante is going to do the same. But overall, I enjoyed this chapter. I gotta give it a 10 out of 10. And if you're enjoying this chapter review, make sure to leave a like on the video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, notification bell is on. Join my Discord, link in the description. Follow me on Twitter, that's in the description as well. Again, like, subscribe. You guys take care of yourself. Have an awesome life. And I'm out.